A very good morning to South America, a good afternoon to Africa and Europe, and good evening to India and Israel. This is ZA6YI operating the worldwide DATV Net, as we do every Sunday on this frequency and on this time. We also want to thank the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to host our satellite, which was developed by AMSAT DL, and also with a lot of help from AMSAT UK and of course the British Amateur Television Club. The BATC is a fantastic organization that we encourage anyone who wants to do DATV to join. It's not expensive, and the wealth of information and kits that they have available for receivers and all sorts of things to their members is there at really reasonable prices. So it's an organization that's been set up to assist those that want to do ATV. Today on frequency, let me just have a quick look, bring up the list. We have ZS1 Mike Leon in the southern part of the Cape, called Worcester, not very far north of Cape Town. We have G8KOE Martin in the United Kingdom. We have Peter, GW7BZY, who's in Wales. And then we go to the Netherlands, that's Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray, with Benno with a good mobile setup, he says. We have Ed also down in South America, in Brazil. That's Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. We've also been joined by Paul in the Netherlands, Papa Echo 1 Alpha Victor Papa. And Frank has just come aboard, Golf 8 Papa Quebec Hotel. So we have a lovely net today, and I'm sure it's going to be interesting as usual. And I want to thank everyone for coming up over this, shall we call it, the festive season. There are a few guys on the internet that always come in, like Nigel Reeve, and some more will pop up as time goes to 4 o'clock. I also want to say a special word of hello to young Leslie. He's watching on his YouTube channel with his mother Bonnie. They said they'll be watching today, so I want to say hi to Leslie and to Bonnie, and I'm sure they won't find the net too interesting. Maybe they will. Who knows? But anyway, with that, I'm going to pass it down to the Cape. ZS1 Mexico, will you please start your engines from ZS6 Yankee India? Start your engines.
Hello Gary. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody online from ZS1 Mike. No, we don't have to start any engines anymore. We have no more load shedding here in the Cape. We're not in Division 6 where they still have some load shedding. We have nothing here. Okay, yes, and it's holiday time. I'm finally here for the full net for the next couple of weeks anyway. Right, what am I doing? You won't believe it, it's Sunday today and I'm actually building something for the work. A small hang on, let me get it. I didn't prepare everything. Anyway, what is it? I'm building in this little box a GPS with a lithium ion battery and a high-speed modem and a S-band transmitter, so that we can attach this thing to anything that flies. It's self-powered, it's completely self-contained, and we can track it with the telemetry antennas. which don't suffer from clutter and things like that, like the tracking radars, and also not from clouds like the optical instruments. So we can attach this. I'm going to later make a much smaller one, but this can go on anything anyway. But I'd like, I mean, this GPS engine with its antenna, the new one now is 15 millimeters by 15 millimeters. No, this is more like 40 millimeters by 40 millimeters. So, and the chip I used and all the components I used in this high-speed modem, you get in surface mount nowadays, so I can even make that much smaller. The transmitter, I've added this piece of copper as a heat sink. It's not supposed to have a heat sink, but it runs pretty hot on 5 volts. 100 milliwatts output on S-band, 2380 megs or somewhere around there. You can set the channels a little bit. Anyway, this is a very valuable thing to the range, as I say, because with telemetry, the telemetry auto tracking antennas, we can track anything that radiates in that band. And because the source, the RF source is there, we're looking at it, we don't suffer from multipath clutter and things that you do with the tracking radars. So especially in the beginning of a launch, the moment I can track with the telemetry antenna, I send my angular data to what we call CC, Central Computer System, in the ops room, and they then can slave all the other instruments on the range, whether they're in auto track mode or not. They can slave on that data and still point at this device that is flying. So at once the thing is out of the clutter, the radars can lock on and they can auto track. And also if the thing doesn't go in the clouds, the optical instruments can track it. So it's of great benefit to the range. I don't know why I haven't done it 30 years ago. I did build things like that, but much bigger, which we had on rafts floating in the ocean. We built 4 of these huge rafts with all sorts of missile attracting devices on them. But we wanted to know exactly where they are in the ocean, because they're actually navigation hazards. We had strobes on them and AIS beacons on them and all sorts of things. But we wanted to know via GPS exactly where it is at all times. So I did build it many years ago, but now there's all of a sudden we find that we need a nice small one that can fly on anything. So that's what I'm busy doing today. It should be finished by tonight. Right, see, we have a nice list here. Let's give it to Mr. All-Star. Martin, you take it. G8 KOE for the group from ZS1. My mic. And hi, Leslie. I hope you can see us there. Take it, Martin.
Yeah, thank you there, Leon. Let's just make sure we got a bit of sound, hopefully. Yeah, thank you there, Leon. Let's get rid of that. I find it fascinating, all the little projects you get into. But it's not just the projects themselves, it's the science to it all that you make sound so easy. I'm sure it's not. Mr. All-Star, yes. And SRT, that's the thing I've been playing with. I know it's not real radio, but it gives me a lot of fun, and I end up with having other stations connected to me, like Peter, who's streaming in at the moment from. It's probably the best picture you're going to see from him. At least I can bring him in straight away. But he's connected to my number 3. Server or streamer or whatever you like to call it, player, which is what I've been repositioning, which I now have 4 of them stacked up, and eventually we'll feed them to a quad, and hopefully from some of the worldwide nets, etc., is bringing in a number of people. That's the idea of it. The latency is a lot less, and using All-Star as the talkback side of things, you can have quite a reasonable conversation. But anyway, that's what I'm working on and playing. I was repurposing another Raspberry Pi this morning, which I'd taken off of a working system. But let's turn the sound off of this person in my right ear at the moment, so he can't talk to me. But I took it off of a working thing that I wasn't really using it, and I blew another card, or I did another card, and no, it doesn't work at all. Which I don't know why, whether the boot sector's got corrupted on it or what. It's not the card, it's the Pi seems to have stopped working. Just get a red light in it, but I need to have a look online, see if there's anything I can do to recover it. So that's what I've been doing. Apart from that, not a lot. It seems to have taken up all the week trying to work out with HDMI moving it around, but should be ready on the All-Star front and the SRT front for anybody that wishes to join us on either BATC Net, which is the Christmas net, next Thursday. But if anybody wants to join and stream in, just email me and I can give them the information, preferably if they're on All-Star. Makes it more user friendly. But on that note, I'll pass you over to Peter from G8KOE. I'll pass you over to Peter from G8KOE. Fair play. Hold on, where am I? I'm trying to get my cameras sorted. Which camera am I on? I'm on my new camera now. Yes. Have I got audio? That's the question. Have I got any audio? I think I have some audio, but I don't think it's particularly synchronized because it's coming from somewhere else. That's what I struggle with all this to get it together. That's the audio I want. No, I don't. Anyway, so I don't know about the audio. There we go. Bit low. Sorry about the audio being a bit low. I do have audio now, hopefully. Have I audio? I think Martin's leading me astray. Hello. Audio. Yes, I've got audio. Yeah, that's my new camera. Birthday present from the wife, the Greg, which is kind and Christmas present because it's quite expensive for a little camera. So it's a new toy. The Osmo Pocket 3, which works, as you see, as a webcam as well as a action camera, I suppose you call it. So that's what I'm playing with. Obviously working into SRT into Martin there, which is also fun. So I've repurposed the SDR micro SDR card for the SRT player for the Pi, but it isn't working now. It fires up, but I can't access it on the web, so I'll have to probably get a faster card because it did take a long time to fire up. The fascinating stuff there. I forgot the guy's name now. Leon. Sorry. With your satellite tracking and everything, it's really, really good. Fantastic. Why they're quite playing with satellites and rockets when they can't get electric to stay on, I don't really know. Time might be better spent. But fair enough. So all's good. We don't have a rocket program in Wales, you know what I mean?
they don't have enough trouble keeping the electric on here. I'm getting political again, aren't I? Yes. Where am I distracted? So that's what I've been doing. I should be practicing the saxophone because I said I was going to play some saxophone. I'll turn my microphone up a bit, I think, but I'm not going to. Is my lip sync way out? Is it? I don't know. I can't tell. Somebody else back that up because I don't necessarily trust. Not that I don't trust you, Martin. But if anybody else thinks my lip sync is way out, please tell me before I start playing with it. Is it a bit out? What would you say? Advanced or? I'll just check in case. Let's have a look. You see, whose audio am I showing? Yeah, I'm on the right audio.
Couple of seconds.
Couple of seconds. Can't be a couple of seconds. Let's hold on. Let's have a listen on the receive. Audio.
Can't be a couple of seconds. Let's hold on. Let's have a listen on the receive.
Audio.
Audio. Can't be a couple of seconds. Let's hold on. Let's have a listen on the receive. Audio.
Nah, it's not a couple of seconds. That's it. It's perfect. If you've got a problem, Martin, it's your end. Anybody else? It's perfectly good here. I'm using FFmpeg, I think, for decoding on OpenTuner because it's the only one that doesn't crash. Yes. So much for that. What was it? Martin stuff's great stuff. Great multi-channel input. Now you want an automatic switching HDMI port system so that you can work as a little repeater. That would be cool, wouldn't it? And have an output somewhere. So I don't know how it is to get multiple outputs because it's great that one of us can get in, but it'd be very cool if we could work it out that we could. And I don't know if that is a rendezvous thing. I don't know if any SRT can be viewed by more than one person. I know NDI can do. You can have many viewers on NDI. It's not restricted. But I don't know about SRT. So that'd be interesting. If obviously it's not a real repeater, but it would be a web repeater. That'd be which seems to be popular amongst All Star and Echolink and various others. That's your task for next week, Martin, from GW7Bs and I hand that round to whoever's next, but I haven't looked on the interweb to see who that might be. So I'm going to go to I hope you like my Christmas card. That was handmade by me. Where are we going to fade?
Hi guys. You had so many problems on your audio, so I completely missed your complete story. But nice camera, Peter. So I know I have audio because my soundbar says it, and let's double check quickly. Yeah, no problem. First of all, hi Leslie. That's something I wrote down. Nice to view us, and you should get your license and ask your grandpa to build your own home station. That's not a problem for him. he has stuff enough lying around. For the rest, yeah, I just an hour or two back I came home from a experiment which I was doing this weekend. Some of you might know that this weekend we have the contest, the DATV of the ATV contest, I should say, on 70 cents and higher in the Netherlands and Belgium. And for that, analog and DATV were allowed. And I had also this weekend an idea to take the mobile home, of which I used over the last summer extensively, but not much after that, for a winter trip to some water, shoreside, very close to, well, actually I was about 3-4 meters from the water, and I set up some antennas there. And yeah, I don't make much pictures, but my girlfriend did, and this was the actual setup. The aerial looks very angled. It wasn't so in fact, but I corrected a little bit after I saw this picture. It wasn't that bad at all, but you can see the 88 centimeter dish, which is new on the mobile home, and I was QRV on 2 70 cents and 23 and 13 cents, and tried to work some stations. Well, try is the good word here, because basically everything went wrong. I had very good signals, but no decoding. I could bring very good signals to other stations, but they couldn't decode me, so I don't know what went wrong. I was using ports down and right, and apparently everything was wrong. And being in the mobile home in a confined space, well, I didn't take everything apart, but I just stopped my experiment, went to the narrowband, did some QSOs there, and I got bad audio reports. So that's a completely different mode on a different antenna. Good signals, but a different. I was behind a tree, which you can't see because, well, on the back of my some 10 meters away there was a big tree, which was completely without any leaves. So I had good hopes, but no. I had just a marginal, well, a good signal on the narrowband, but on the wideband, even if I put up 80 watts, I could get only a very small signal, not even decodable by my home station, which was on all the time. It selected me, it detected me, but it couldn't decode it. So that was a no-go, pretty enough. So that's pity enough. It is a lost test, but what it did give me is a lot of information what I need to improve, and that's always good. So now I'm going to test all the cables. If the cables are all okay, I need to organize my antenna a little bit to have a more easier setup, getting it to turn in the right ways. So I need to rotate it a little bit on 12 volt. So I need to build something for that, and I need to improve my 80 centimeters, 88 centimeters dish, and I'm going to improve that. So the next time I'm over here, I should do much better, and then finally test all the decoding part. So a lot of information. I was able to make a QSO on the narrowband. I did 2 or 3 QSOs on the narrowband, and that's all I did. I was QRV on Alstar, I was QRV on several other things, but I found out that I needed to my hotspot mobile for mobile phone as a hotspot, but also for other things, so that made communications also very difficult, and there are some things to improve. Yeah, well, that was the experiment. Besides that, I had a nice stay on the shore, had a nice evening meal at the local diner shop, a nice bistro house, and yeah, I'm also QRV now on the Alstar. Should I look at the chat? No, nothing on the chat yet. Well, that's basically it. Let's turn off that one, get my own face again. So now I'm going to clean up my desk a little bit, because over the last week or so I had too much projects building lots of these, which are all-star modems. I have now 8 or 9 pieces here on the shelf, and I get even requests from Australia to send them over. So I need to figure out the cost for that. I hope it's within certain amounts, but at least for the locals within Europe, they are easy enough to send out. Well, by the way, I see it down there's my rig, and that's what I tried to use, and it worked flawlessly out last summer, but it has so much problems now, so probably something wrong on the way. Well, that's all for now. Microphone on to all the way to South Africa, South America, to Brazil, take it along from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-ray. And by the way, Leon, yeah, you should show us how to track something, because I had to track so much over the last few days. Try to track it, the satellite, try to track the stations. Yeah, tracking is something I should be able to do, but fortunately we are all on one spot only. Passing it on to you, Ed, from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-ray. Do I have some music to get over? Yes, I have.
Deepest well we've ever dug.
What's the light at the bottom?
Well, we followed the plans. Yeah, we did just what he said.
You're supposed to be building a lighthouse.
Okay, Benno. PA3 FBX from Papa Yankee 2, Radio November. Hello everybody, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Nice to see you all. Gary, Leon, Martin, Peter, Benno. And after me, our friend Paul and Frank. Okay, guys. No much. Leon, your tracking box, nice. Remember my time, we used to play a lot with the APRS down here. Kind of challenging times, because at the time we didn't have any Google Maps. To get a GPS was kind of difficult. But we managed to make some APRS activity down here. I think it was second place after actually was the first place here to APRS to be implemented. APRS, for guys you that doesn't know, is automatic position reporting system. It's a protocol based on AX25, developed by Bob Bruninga. If I recall correctly, W4 APR, I think, his silent key now. And we did implemented APRS down here after the US was the first one, then I think Canada, and Brazil was the third one. Then it went to Europe and all the other places. APRS was fun because, like I said, I mean, there was no at that time was not there was no smartphones and GPS and Google Maps. There is nothing, and was kind of very interesting to track all the stations. It was a nice activity. Installed the digipeater on the top of the mountains, etc. Yeah. All right, Martin, good transmission, very nice. And Peter, lip sync is okay. And Benno, yeah, portable DATV operation is always a challenge. We face a lot of challenge with the truck. The last maintenance that we gave there, reception is perfect. The reception is quite good for the DATV. It's even better. The reception on a 1.2 meter kilo alpha band antenna. It's an offset antenna. It's actually better than our antenna here, which is a 1.5 meter prime focus dish. So the reception there is quite good, but we still need to improve the transmission. Is not good. So there's still pending. We are putting a signal on the transponder. We can decode ourselves, but it's still low, and there's some problem with the amplifier and stuff like that. So we still need to fix. Other than that, I've done nothing, just working with my solar panels here to change the configuration. It was actually 10 panels that was connected in parallel. I moved it to series because I swapped the inverter. And that was a lot of work because I had to work below the roof. And that was very uncomfortable, but everything was working now. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, it's if I change to the monitor here. Yeah, it's a cloudy day here, so it's not generating much power, but yeah, it's not even marking, but anyways, it's working now. All right, guys. So changing the microphone and camera all the way back to the Netherlands, I believe. Yes, Papa Echo 1 Alpha Victor Papa Paul, sending to you from Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November.
Check audio. Check audio. That seems to work. That's good. Then I switch it off and show my face. Let's have a look at the output power. Yeah, it is high again. Yeah, it is a bit high. That's a bit problematic, gentlemen and ladies, of course. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good to see you again. Hopefully I'm more colorful than last week, because last week I had no floodlight lightning the wall, but it's back again, so hopefully that's better. Watching myself, it still could be better, but nou ja, this is it. And the power fluctuation, that's also interesting. I can see it here, that when I start my transmission, there's a lot of output. But later on, the output is declining. It is still high enough, it should be high enough to give a good signal. Maybe it is related due to the fact that I switch on the bias current to the power amplifier at the moment at which I do PTT on. Oh, now I'm going down a lot. It is really interesting. I don't understand it, why it happens. I give a bit more output power again. So, because anyone should be able to see me. It is strange, this fluctuation, in some way. Well, it needs investigation, that is clear. Okay, thanks Gary for hosting the net. Gary is always available, every Sunday it seems. That is great, Gary. I don't know how you do that. You must have DATV support from your wife, I think. Looking at the weather in the Netherlands, it is completely grey. It is 10 degrees, and for Ed, my PV panels switched off already because it is simply too dark. It's also raining a bit. Okay, looking back at last week, I moved my daughter. I explained that already last week. But I still spent a lot of time on putting, for example, lights to the ceiling. And I do not know how experienced you are with doing that job, but it is really a lot of work and it takes a lot of time to do it. There are lights that simply can take 2 hours or more to get it to the ceiling. The job is still not finished. I do not know. But they seem to have a lot of points where you can install lights in the house. What else happened? I also talked about that car, this Hyundai. I did some investigation. It had a starting problem. But actually, tracing it down, this Hyundai showed an intermitting issue with the board voltage. Sometimes it simply went dead. And also during driving, it went dead, so the engine stopped. It was then difficult, because it was intermittent, but it did not happen that often. So I worked about 2 days on the car, and during these 2 days it never occurred. But while doing the last test drive, suddenly the car got stuck. And the interesting is that I wasn't able to put the hazard lights on. And if you cannot put the hazard light of a car on, then it means that it is a very primary problem with the board voltage. So I did measure the voltage on the car battery, and that went down to 10.7 volts it was. So something had happened with the battery. Well, after that had happened, it took only 15 seconds or so to do the measurement. I could start again, and we drove on. Horrible. So I did check the main fuses and replace the battery, and hopefully the problem has now gone. But I still don't know whether I really solved it. Okay, then I did receive a power supply, a professional power supply from Aztec, that also has a problem. I did investigate it, and it proved to be the primary switching unit that creates about 250 to 300 volts. That also has an intermittent problem, but I simply cannot repair it because it's just one block. I don't know the English word. If they pour... No, I simply don't know the English word. Okay, but it was a complete block, and I had no access to the components. Okay, then had a celebration of Huawei in the Netherlands. They have an office now representing the Benelux and also Ireland. And that is situated in Rijswijk, and they did organize a wonderful celebration in The Hague, in the car museum there. So that really was great. And I just repaired a dishwasher where the door lock was broken. That was also quite an interesting problem, because if the door lock is broken on a Bosch or a Siemens dishwasher, the door goes open, but the machine continues washing. So the kitchen was completely wet. Okay, this was at my parents' house, so really interesting. Okay, I had a new door lock at home, so I did install it. The problem has gone. Oh yeah, and also last week, that was rather painful, the power amplifier for my narrowband setup failed. Suddenly, there is continuously more than 3 amps to the power amplifier, and that means that most probably the integrated circuit has gone. I did not investigate it yet because the weather is not good enough. That will be done later. So that means that I'm using the wideband power supply, the DATV power supply, now also for narrowband. Okay. Oh yeah, and that might be of interest. Actually, Jaap, PA2 JSA, gave me a trigger that in China there is the so-called Libre SDR or Libre SDR. I do not know how to pronounce it. Which equals a lot to the Adam Pluto, and it was available rather cheap. So Jaap bought it, and I also bought it. It did not arrive, of course, yet, but hopefully it will arrive in the beginning of January. I think that if we do some experiments, Jaap and I, it would be interesting to share that, the results of the experiments also here. Because, again, it's a cheap SDR, and it seems to be equal to the Pluto. Okay, then let's respond to what others said. First of all, Leon, holiday time. That's great for a guy who's retired. Still, we didn't see launch videos, but at least we saw some components that are a self-powered device to be. A device that should be able to fly in the future. But interesting, Leon. Martin, your hardware stack, that also looked interesting. Must be powerful in that way. Peter, your new camera is really nice, but the audio was poor. Benno also complained about it because the audio came from the background. It seemed to be a microphone far outside the position of your camera. And the Christmas card, I loved it. Benno, I now understand it because I wrote your remark in the daily schedule. I thought that you were mobile now, but actually you were talking about the mobile experience in your camper van or mobile home. That's great. I did recognize the mobile home because I own the same one. We, Maggie and I, own the same one based upon the Fiat Ducato. It's really old, but doesn't matter. It makes a lot of fun. At least that's how we experience it. And then Ed, I loved the music especially, and laughed again about the supposed to build a lighthouse. Yeah, wonderful. That's it for the moment. I pass the camera and the microphone to Golf 8 Papa Quebec Hotel.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. That was very interesting. I certainly don't fancy to be fiddling about with dishwashers at any time of the year, particularly at this time of year. You know how people get stressed out with Christmas, with all these domestic things. So a very good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening to everyone. Nice to see you all. I thought Peter's camera was very nice, and I liked his Christmas card. I'm working on a sort of outdoor Christmas decoration of myself, not of myself, which I can got a picture of it somewhere here. Ah, yes, that's it. It's a magnetic loop antenna disguised as a Christmas wreath. I haven't quite finished it. I've got to put some more tinsel around it, possibly, and it needs the a secondary loop to feed it. But I think it's coming on, and I think the neighbours are going to be impressed with this in the front garden. So I've been working on that. I don't think, is there any more pictures I had? Oh, possibly not. I can't remember now. What else have I been working on? Put this over here. So I have been working on a Pico tuner. This has confused me terribly. I've got the lead now. Can't show it to you. Put the other camera on. There we go. That one. Yes, this Pico tuner, which confused me a bit this morning, because I plugged in a non-working Ethernet lead to it and convinced myself that the tuner had stopped working. So then pulled everything apart, put the other tuner I have back together, and so the shack is even more untidy than normal. Yes, I like Dead to Lighthouse, I must admit. Those kind of things do happen. Years ago I worked for a company where someone had got a drawing upside down and put in a phone mast on the south side of the road instead of the north side of the road, and managed to get themselves electrocuted, or very nearly. So yes, I think the drawing should have had north on it, but it didn't. What else? Oh, I've been speaking to Martin this morning about SRT, which is clearly the coming thing in the world of the G8 KOE there, and got vMix to stream stuff to Martin, and worked out how to turn the stream on. But now every time I turn vMix on, it starts streaming to Martin, and I can't figure out how to turn it off. So I'm using OBS at the moment. I think whenever I turn vMix on, I'll be connected to one of those excellent stack of Raspberry Pis that Martin has. So on that happy thought, I will wish you all a very good day. I think I'll pop up for the second round if there is one, but hopefully connect a few more things up by then. I will hand it over to Gary, ZS6YI. So this is G8 PQH, and for the group in sunny Selsey handing it over to ZS6YI. So I will put up a test card and drop the carrier.
Okay, Frank. Very good. No problem to copy. Okay. Nice signal, nice video too. Colors were great. So no problem. Anyway, yeah, Leon, that sounds like a very exciting gadget, so that you can track the satellite on your own tracking device. I did send you a clip about your launch last week. I sent it today, I think, early this morning, or late last night, I can't remember. It was in the newspaper, so there we go. and they did mention the University of Natal. So looks like big things are coming. So I was going to put a quip. You still got a job for a long, long time ahead. Anyway, but all good. And I just want to say hi to the guys on YouTube. There's many. Hello to Nigel, always on, Nigel Reeve. Of course to Regina. She is a Delta Golf 5 Fox Mike. And to Peter Rudolph in Hanover. Hello, Peter. Always good to have you on. Delta Kilo 3 Zulu Fox. I hope you're well. You must come and join us. It'll be lovely to see you on. We also had Joe, 9 Hotel 1 Golf Tango. He's busy trying to organize a HDMI line to his Portsdown. And once that's working, he'll also be joining us on the net. Hello to Italy, Alfredo. Nice to see you on as always. And again, hello to Bonnie and to Leslie watching. So there we go. And of course to Steve Baines. I spoke to him the other day. I was just thinking about your motor car issue there, Paul. Two friends of mine, husband and wife, they're both professors at the University of Johannesburg, both in economics, but different departments. Anyway, they went on holiday to the Kruger National Park, and they'd bought a brand new little Citroen, nice car, and they were driving somewhere, and the car got stuck. For the life of me, they couldn't get the thing going, so they phoned the helpline, sat for hours on with Citroen, no luck, and eventually they got hold of a tow company and came out 300 kilometers, by the way, 150 kilometers one side, 150 the other way. So they got into the car and into the little truck, and off they throttled, and went to the dealership, and dealership started the car. Nothing wrong. Couldn't find a fault. Anyway, so after a long story, they decided, okay, they've got to go back. And I spoke to the wife. She said to me, you cannot believe it. To the meter where that car got stuck the first time, to the meter, it got stuck again. And they couldn't get it going. They couldn't raise Citroen. So they got the guy. Luckily, they had his number of the tow truck. And he came out and took them home. Bottom line, the whole thing cost them 10,000 Rand, which is 500 euro, I would say, just about 600 euro. So they were very annoyed about that. So I teased her. I said, you know what, you guys should have pushed the car 100 meters and then started it. Maybe there's a ghost there. Anyway, I said to my wife, yeah, they're both professors, both PhDs, but in economics, and when it comes to a practical thing like a motor car, they are useless. Anyway, it happens, I suppose. But I thought it was happened this week. Day before yesterday, she sent me this whole sob story about the Citroen. So she's going to take it further and complain like hell. Well, like a good wife or a good woman can do. And Paul, it's easy. My wife does her thing in the afternoon on a Sunday, and I'm out of her hair and she's out of my hair, and I come and help with the net. But I almost didn't make it today. I have a big shot from the company, the BMW company. They were supposed to arrive on Tuesday, so I gave my factory off the first weekend in 3 months. So I gave them off yesterday, today, and tomorrow's a public holiday in South Africa, and quite an important one, especially for the Afrikaner folk, because that was the oath they took many, many years ago at the Battle of Blood River, and so they take it very seriously, because the oath was that they'd keep the 16th of December a sacred day. So now this guy arrives today, and he wants to know why the factory's not running. Ella almost sent him packing, but anyway, I didn't. And then it turns out his big boss, who is the director for the whole of Europe, is arriving tomorrow. And no wonder the guy was a bit afraid. His planning's a bit mixed up. However, I quickly got 2 teams going. They will be there tomorrow, so I think we'll have pulled the chestnuts out the fire for the guy. But anyway, yeah, it's with the launch of a new car, there's always this type of problem, and it can become a little bit worrisome. So I almost didn't make the net today because I had to go and see what the hell's going on. And as it is, I got 3 new injection molding machines. They arrived, 2 of the 3. Third one is in the country, is out of the port, but now all the guys that now put it into place, you know, what do you call these things, the heavy machine lifters, they've all gone on holiday now for Christmas. So that last machine will only be brought to our factory and put in place on the 6th of next month. So, okay, it doesn't matter too much. I've got the electric cables there, and I also bought a big generator so that if the power goes out, the generator can switch on automatically. So I've done my bit for what BMW wanted and more. So let's see that everybody's happy. Right, nothing else really from my side. It was a great cartoon there, Ed, as usual. Yeah, these things can happen, there's no doubt. But a guy should also apply a little bit of common sense, which I found is not so common these days. Eh? And Benno, yes, indeed, we have a lot of goodies. I wonder where some of it arrives. It's still on the desk, in the box as it came, Benno. I've just been too busy to even look at the stuff. And yeah, Martin, I think you have a new name now, indeed. So that was now aptly coined by Leon. Right, who else? Frank, yeah, I did mention excellent signal, no sweat. And Peter, your signal was good. I still teased you earlier, but you guys didn't click. When you went through Martin's station, I said, "Oh, Martin, now for the first time, Peter's got a decent video signal." But either you guys are deaf or you don't like my wit. Right, Leon, to you, sir. ZS1 Mexico to take it from ZS6 Yankee India. And this will be our final over.
Okay, Gary. ZS6YI in the group, ZS1 Mike. Also now for a final. My friends are waiting for me outside already. They're a bit early. We were supposed to go and do a job 5:30. Okay, Gary, yeah, that rocket video. Yes, thanks. Many people sent that link to me. It was published in various magazines and whatever, news bulletins and so on. Yes, they're making a big thing of this university. Anyway, okay, Martin, I didn't have any comments there. Peter, you are out by about 200 milliseconds with your audio. It is definitely out. Otherwise, everything is fine. The audio, I don't like the new camera. The background should not move, and that thing causes the background to make me seasick. So I'm not too keen on that. It's maybe good for All Star, but definitely not for ATV. Benno, you are way out. You're out by about 1,000 milliseconds with your audio sync. It's like way out. It's like a sentence out almost. Ed was fine. Nice cartoon. Yes, I also like the Father Christmas having a little toot there on the little island. That was very good. And yeah, I haven't got solar on my place yet. I've got battery banks and inverters and so on, but anyway, as I say, in the Western Cape there is no more such thing as load shedding. So the solar companies and the battery companies and the inverter companies made a killing for about, what was it, about a year or two, and then it stopped. Anyway, okay, Paul, yes, you've got so many projects going, and the car thing, yes, you know, my pickup at work, the company's pickup, it's a very old thing. The battery on that died all of a sudden, like digital. One day I still drove it, it was fine. The next day just click. And it's one of those batteries with a little indicator, you know, it's nice and green. So I said, oh yeah, that's an off jumper between the cells. Anyway, I finally got a new battery for that, and that's working fine again. So yeah. You didn't say whether you've had any success with your spectrum analyzer power supplies, because I know you were working on 2 of them. Anyway, right. There the lithium ion batteries are fully charged for that project now, so I can fit them. Okay, and Frank, yes, I like your loop antenna. You must now interweave with the tinsel some little neon lamps, especially on the high voltage points. they'll come on nicely when you're transmitting, just to camouflage it even better, you know. And you do have a very high-pitched noise on your audio. It's not loud, but there's some switch mode supply or something, at about 8 kcs, I'd say. Guess, thumbsuck, some noise that you have there. But otherwise, everything fine. Gentlemen, I have to run. You can carry on, but right, Martin, over to you. G8KOE for the group from ZS1 Mike saying 73s. See you next Sunday, if not through the week.
Thanks there, Leon. I'm pleased that you said the sound was out of sync. I thought it was me. Thanks there, Leon. Pleased that... Yeah, I was having all sorts of problems with different ones. I thought perhaps my receiver had thrown a wobbly. So I used different ways of receiving things, but and I'm not very good at explaining whether it's you know, in advance or delayed anyway. It's always good. I'm having a few little minor problems this end. I think things are colliding with one another, say on the network, particularly the dashboard that I normally have on the All-Star side of things. For a second week, it's disappeared. So I must... oh no, it's not. It's back. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I couldn't get it before. It had totally disappeared. But I was going to say it's not there, but it is there. So that's good. And to you there, Peter, if you could explain how to turn off SRT streaming, or you say it's not streaming, but sending of SRT then in VMix, then the station down in Selsey would probably be quite appreciative of that. I know you did explain it to me, but perhaps you could do it again so as others can. And yeah, the cartoon, Ed, I thought it was brilliant. Just, I think that's one of the better ones. They're all good, but that one appealed to me big time. And yeah, good pictures from you again. There's always good pictures from you. And yeah, I've not really got a lot more to add, other than I'm stuck in this digital non-DATV mode, streaming mode at the moment, but I will get back. I've got various other things planned, but I've got to try and fix this other Raspberry Pi that was working, but now just has a red light that comes on, which is really annoying. So I understand there's a boot section that can get corrupted. It's not the card. I suppose I don't know what it is, but it was working, and now it's not. And all I've done is burnt another card and shoved in it, and sticking the original one back in. That doesn't work either. And sticking another one that I got from somewhere else, that doesn't work either. So something's got corrupted. But we shall see. I have a few ideas, but a bit tired. And yeah, I've had no emails lately from the VK boys, so they must be happy or all on holiday. But if they're not, just hi to them. Right, So over to you there, Peter. Perhaps you've got the lip sync correct this time, and you could explain how to stop SRT from connecting. Over to you. I'll put up a test card, and it's all yours. And a Merry Christmas to everybody from G8KOE.
They got lip sync problems. They've got no audio problems.
I think you're a bit quiet, Peter.
Audio.
He needs to use OBS.
Audio. Yeah, that to me that's lip synced. There's audio now. Yeah, to me that's lip synced. And I've got my audio here turned up on my. There is. And I've got my audio here turned up on my. There's plenty of audio. Okay, so I'll ramble on anyway. I can't account for your lip sync at your end, but at my end, it seems perfectly good enough. So I don't know what I can do about it. So I'll have to work on that. I don't know what's to be done. But as for, I am watching online to see if there's any remarks, and listening on Echo Link if anybody wants to criticise it, which is quite happy for them to do so. So where are we? Yes. How do you turn the well, using vMix is quite easy. I'll just go on to me not too shaky cam. Can I get it out there? You've got the output. So I'll just cut this across. I need audio. I need audio from the camera, the little camera. So there's the monitor, etc. And there's external output. Is it? Am I pointing at the right place? Yes, I am. On the little cogwheel, dip that, go up to SRT, and then you've got caller external output source. Now, if I dib that, it's disabled at the moment, but if I dib it, it should come. It should be enabled now. Let's have a look, see. It's not. Hold on. Double it too many times. Yeah, now we're enabled. Yeah, it's because I'm not looking at the right place, am I? I don't know where the hell the camera's pointing either. Yeah. Yes, it should be. Where is it? But it can't. I can't. You know, I can't see why the camera can't see it. Where are you pointing to, camera? It's why it doesn't work. There, it's working now. I was zooming in instead of so now you can see the SRT is working. It's a bit of a ball ache, this camera, in a way. When you go to webcam, what usually makes the gimbal move up and down, side to side, turns into a zoom device, which isn't ideal. And if you want to turn that off, you come back down here. You can dip that little cogwheel. Why am I not seeing something come out?
That's right.
It's not working, is it? Oh, well, it's decided not to work now for some reason. But it usually comes out with a little thing saying, with the same SRT on it. Now it's working. SRT, and then you're there. You're enabled. Well, enabled, and then you go to you've dibbed it, and then disabled it. Disabled. That is half-assed as much as any I've ever done. But yeah, that's how you do it. It's simple as that. Itchy nose. If that is completely hopeless, wasn't it? But that's how it works. But you obviously go into the cogwheel and go to and set it up, where you can initiate the you put the details in, etc., etc. Which I can do now actually. Which is yeah, no, I can come on, cut. No, it won't do. Of course it won't do. Trying to sell vMix, I'm not doing it very well, am I? As I'm trying to sell vMix, it's not working very well, is it? Okay, so into the cogwheel, output NDI SRT settings, and then there, and then you've got the details there. Etc. And the key latency wants to be 4 times the ping, ideally. Latency wants to be 4 times the ping, ideally. So. You'll have to change your password now, Martin, to 6G8. That's right. There's no one watching, is there? And everybody who is watching is probably a radio amateur. And you want people to get into your repeater, so you know your input. So I don't. So there we are. I hate that. I hear my voice come back. But anyway, apart from the apologies for showing your password, if you freeze frame on that, you might get it. Just change it, yeah. You'll have to give me the new one, Martin. But yeah, that's how it works from GW7BZ1. What else was I going to do? Since it was Christmas, I've got distracted with that nonsense. I've got this, which I usually show every Christmas, so I'm going to show it this Christmas with apologies.
Ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas.
There we go. I thought I'd leave it in the end because I wanted Jingle's Bells to get their credit. Okay, with that, I'll hand it round. Oh, I was going to say, there we go. I thought I'd leave it in the end because I wanted Jingle's Bells. Just before I go, I know I'm making a bit of a meal of it and taking too long, but it's gone. Excellent from everybody there, Paul. Yeah, if you raise the pedestal level a little bit and push the white down, you get a good picture. That's all that's wrong with it. It wants limiting, top and bottom down to 16 to 235. The washing machine, I just fixed the sink in the kitchen, and I'm not very good with plumbing because I'm a bit cack-handed. And I managed to pull the plumbing out accidentally, and the wife obviously had the washing machine still going, so it started to empty. So that was a bit of an emergency situation. Luckily, I got the pipe back together without too much water on the floor. It's fixed now, by the way, which is the first time I've actually fixed some plumbing without doing significantly more harm. Nice pictures from PQH. Love your test card. That's fantastic, and generally a good, nicely coloured picture. With that. And of course, Gary there seems very stressful. You know what I mean? I'm sure BMW are good. I don't know. I wouldn't trust them Volkswagen lot. Very dodgy. But with you spending all that money. But here we go. This is GW7BZY. Fade to black.
So, I try to improve my audio a bit, at least to get the lip sync better in sync. I think that's better, and otherwise I'm going to talk this way, so I won't have the problem. Hi. Well, anyway, good net. Thanks all. I would say for those I'm not going to speak in again, have a good year-end holiday. This time is for the technicians under us, as always, very busy, because as production stops, the